internets, hello you lovelies. Let's talk all about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 1 finale. And I am so happy to say, if you haven't heard already, this is one of at least 3 seasons. I say we go 6 seasons in a movie, but man, oh man, did this Season 1 finale not disappoint. Going to be talking about episodes 9 and 10 of this incredible show. But before we get into it, if you do not already follow me, please hit that subscription bell. We are rapidly approaching 50K. When we hit 50,000, I'm going to do a 50 comic giveaway in honor of 50K. So if you're a comic book fan, you're in the right place. I talk about comics every week. I read about 50 to 70 comics a week, and every week in a live stream, I break down my favorite 9 comics just for you. I try to make them the more approachable books, but it's always my favorite books of the week. I also review lots of movies. I review lots of TV. Last week, I reviewed Cap 4, non-spoiler, spoiler, gave some tips and tricks of what I would do to kind of recalibrate the MCU. Also talked The Gorge, also talked Paddington. Lots of reviews here, and obviously TV like this here. So let's talk Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episodes 9 and 10. Now, first of all, I want to thank you guys for all the love you've given the reviews and the enjoyment I've had with the comments. Please keep those going. Let's have those comments, and I'm hoping next season they do break this out into a weekly release, because I really like this show as an episodic, and I really feel like the cliffhangers at the end of every episode, any 2 episodes could have been better served having a week in between to have that conversation. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case, and we get to have a 9 and 10 conversation. I would have preferred to be 2 long-form videos instead of 1 very long-form. But episode 9 itself was one of the best episodes of Spider-Man I have ever seen, hard stop. Episode 9 is the origin of the proper costume. Episode 9 is a full-on villain fight. Episode 9 is a team-up. Episode 9 does what comics do really well by building on what we've gotten to at that point with characters in long serialized form. Comics are great because you get issues, and each issue you get a little bit more of this character, you get a little bit more of the main character, a little bit more of the supporting character, and then in these big culmination end of arcs, you get this payoff. That's what 9 felt like, and then 10, we'll get there in a second, was even bigger for payoff and setup. But 9 paid off where we've gotten to with Nico and Harry. 9 was so good at having 2 leads both get their moment, and in this case, alongside each other, with Peter Parker being largely the lead of the Spider-Man show, who knew, but also Lonnie Lincoln being the surprise lead of this Spider-Man show, and they literally have a superhero team-up. Now, I also want to give credit to not just that team-up working the way it did, but we've played with the emotionality of the origin of Tombstone. We've given him the cool origin moment for the name. We've given a very plausible reason why someone that has everything as far as sports and family and straight A student, how they could fall into gang culture, and I think it's handled that really masterfully. So emotionally, we've already built in the Tombstone concept, and we can see how someone can fall into this, and that can grow and become something. Here, they give us 2 final key ingredients. 1, the gang leader of the 110 leaving the gang, giving an opening of power, and that power vacuum, him jumping right in. The gang already respects him. That was a genius move to have that cowardice lead to leadership, lead to him becoming a gang leader, and that leading to Tombstone, and obviously the second being the powers themselves. I love that they gave him a moment where the power happened, but it didn't automatically make him a bad guy. Lonnie has not been a bad guy this whole time. I would have hated if, like in lesser storytelling and sometimes older, cheesier comics without as much nuance, where it's like he breathed the gas in and all of a sudden like he lost his mind and he's crazy. Sometimes that works in a story. That would not have worked in a story this nuanced and long form. I love that Lonnie, we see where he's going, and that gets sprinkled in, and we get to have the powers start to form, but he's still Lonnie Lincoln, he's still a good guy, so him fighting alongside Spider-Man gave us our 2 leads side by side. What good storytelling. While that's all happening, we get an incredible moment of, before actually that fight, but while all of this is percolating, Spider-Man's first time in the suit. I love that the first glimpse we see is in 2 frames in Nico's necklace. That is going to be really big second season. If you guys don't know, Nico Minoru is from Runaways. This is a very important bit of power. This is a very important thing they teased in the car chase last blocks of filming. And I think it was episode 6 or 7. Anyway, they tease where her power is going, and we're going to see that next season. I love that the reflection of Spider-Man, of heroism, of secrets is reflected in that. And then later in their conversation about secrets, boop, that was obviously gleaning. So I love that the first time we see the suit is in a reflection, and that it's her Amulet's reflection. I also love that we get the super suit, the full Spider-Man suit in this fight that feels like an actual superhero fight. The Scorpion fight is bombastic and incredible. It is well earned after all of these basically teases of Scorpion to come. I really think that paid off. I love the conversation with Nico basically being his guy in the chair and her relationship with Harry getting really interesting. It all really worked well. Also in that episode, we got May and Norman having the two sides of the same coin conversation of the relaxing side of being with May and then the pat on the back paternal nature of Norman. All of that worked really well. Into episode 10, the finale. Now, the finale I didn't like quite as much as 9. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I did enjoy it, and I think it's got a great idea of where it's going. I think it was well written and well structured, but personally, I didn't need as big of a thing. I really liked the friendly neighborhood aspects. That said, the big, bombastic, crazy MCU-y stuff did work better here than some of the MCU choices. I didn't need time travel, complete loop storytelling for this to work. Full spoilers, obviously, if you're this deep in the video. I saved 10 for the second half for a bunch of reasons, but I didn't need that opening to mirror Spider-Man and Spider-Man to be a paradox in himself. I don't know if that's going to come up later, how he himself is a paradox. He himself gave himself powers. He wouldn't have powers without himself. How that works with time travel will be up to this rules of this time travel, but I did love that the MCU stuff feels very comfortable in this universe, allowing for building in the second season. I did like that Doctor Strange be like, I've never been to that place, and then they explain that way. I did like that a symbiote would feel out of place, but the fight totally works, and how do you escalate from that awesome Scorpion fight with the actual accurate mask and all the Ditko stuff? Boom, symbiotes. I did like that Norman is not a villain and hasn't turned, but he does betray Spider-Man. I love that he betrays Peter Parker. I love that he betrays Spider-Man, but he's not a full-on villain. But we do see in a conversation with Doc Ock in episode 9 that he is shallow, petty, willing to do villainous things, that Doc Ock is framing up to be a big old villain, that Doc Ock is capable of those things. So then in episode 10, because of the conversation in 9, we expect that Oscorp might just go there. We expect that Norman might turn. I was half expecting a Green Goblin post-credit or something. Like, in the framework of the show, a couple episodes ago, I'm like, I wonder if they're going to end it with Goblin or a post-credit with Goblin. I love that they didn't. I love that they're holding out. I love that they're keeping a slow burn because, again, just like Lonnie Lincoln not suddenly turning with the gas, I love that Norman is going to feel guilty but still going to be selfish, still going to make these decisions, and they set that up so well with the Doc Ock conversation in 9, and they also set up Doc Ock so well in the conversation in 9. So by the time we get to 10 with all the Oscorp stuff, his hubris, his ego, him wanting the science to go well, that causes this thing, and then the ramifications of that, giving this a great denouement feeling, is we get Harry Osborn setting up Web, is we get Nico and Harry's relationship being stronger. I love the idea of Harry trying to like make a team of scientists and Amadeus Cho ignoring him, but the other ones forming this coalition. I love the idea of what Spider-Man can become with someone like Nico defending him in class like they did with the science project. I love the idea of what Harry is going to mean to Peter and if that betrayal ever becomes him taking on the Goblin Mantle, because they are so close now. So episode 10, though I liked the more contained friendly neighborhood elements of 9, I do like what 10 sets up for the future and the tone of everything. I'm so glad this show is getting a 3-season confirmation. I'm so hopeful we get even more than that. I think this is one of the best Spider-Man adaptations. I think this, along with Spectacular Spider-Man the show, with the incredible Spider-Man PS4 game. I haven't played Spider-Man 2, so I can't speak to it. I think, obviously, the Spider-Man 98 show is incredible. I love a lot of elements of the MCU trilogy, but that would probably be on my order. I would probably put this right up there with Spectacular and the PS4 game. Like, top tier, S tier, A quality stuff. This is an A. To me, this landed so well. It is up there with X-Men 97. To me, this landed so well that I would love if this was the canon they do going forward with Spider-Man in most mediums. I really loved this. I want to see more Tom Holland stuff, obviously in live action, but I love that this knew how to be friendly neighborhood while still doing big bombastic stuff, and I thought it was really special. Can't wait to see the Runaways impact. Cannot wait to see the Harry Osborn evolution. Cannot wait to see Tombstone come to fruition. We saw the beginning of his hands turning. I like that it looked like bleach and skin discoloration forming. I love that we're just like leading slowly into Tombstone. I love that we've still got potential with Scorpion. I love that we've still got so much Doc Ock to explore. They didn't use Doc Ock too much this season. He still has time to grow. We've got Doc Ock on the docket. We've got Scorpion on the docket. We've got Tombstone forming. We've got goblins galore coming around. We've got Runaways. We've got Amadeus Cho maybe coming. Totally Awesome Hulk in season 2. Who knows? I just know we've got a lot of potential, and that makes me very happy. Loved this show. Solid A for me. 4.5 stars out of 5. This is how you adapt a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and I hope your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man experience was just as glorious as mine. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought of season 1. Let me know what you thought of these 2 episodes. Let me know what you thought of my thoughts. I posted yesterday on Instagram my comic recommendations. I got a great Tombstone arc in there, great Scorpion issue in there. There's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man comic that is actually this canon. Also, Untold Tales of Spider-Man reminded me of this, and of course, Identity Crisis, where all those suits that I loved in episode 4 come from. So please check that out as well on Instagram and share it and read them. It's on TikTok as well. Either way, look for it on socials. So much love. Leave a comment, hit subscribe, hit a like, press buttons. Loved this show. So very happy. I'll talk to you guys soon.